Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today I finally have this Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer deck list for Pendulum edition that I would like to share with you guys. And before I go into that, if you enjoyed the content so far, do remember to like, subscribe, comment down below, hit the notification bell, and also join our Discord channel for more discussion. And if you have a very interesting replay, do feel free to submit your replay through the form below. And you don't have to record anything, just provide me with the details and follow the instruction there. I will do the recording for you. And without further ado, let's jump right into this. Okay, this deck list I have been testing it for around like 4 to 5 maybe 6 matches, and I would say it works pretty okay. And of course fighting with all the meta deck like Sword Soul is not as good, since I mean those are really the top competitive decks. But I would say that I'm quite enjoying this deck list actually, and I tweaked it quite a bit as compared to the previous season's profile, and it's something that I have never really tried before. Because firstly, I don't really like hand traps in this deck, but I feel that I have no choice to play this in diamond, because if you're going second without hand traps, you're pretty much screwed up. So in this deck, I actually included a bit more hand traps. So the main difference that you can see from this deck list as compared to the others is, firstly, instead of tuning magician, I decided to go back to my effect veiler, because if you have effect veiler is like a hand trap, while tuning magician is not. So it's actually sacrificing a hand trap possibility for the fact that it can for recycling ability. So in this deck, I actually prioritize hand traps a bit more than the previous deck, because I feel that you really need hand traps. So if you look at this, I have actually 2 Maxi, 1 Ghost Ogre, and 2 Ash Blossom. I would say you can switch around maybe 1 Maxi to maybe 3 Ash Blossom, and yeah, I will play around with this. But for now, I find myself comfortable with 2 Maxi and 2 Ash Blossom, because Maxi is really very useful, especially going second. So I think this is a great ratio for me. Okay, Pen Sorcerer, I took out 1 because I find that you might not want to destroy your skill as much, because you want to keep your skill there. And most of the time you will already draw out your Skull Crowbat Joker, so destroying your skill to add Skull Crowbat might not be that useful, so I drop it to 2. But if you have space and you want to keep it to more than 40, I think feel free to add it back in. But I don't think this is a priority card that you should add in. Then Wisdom Eye is still at 3. Then for Luster Pendulum, I think for those who don't play the Ignister Prominence, you can actually remove out your Luster Pendulum. I still play this is because I play this card, and the fact that this card can summon out Luster Pendulum actually helps me a lot. And because it's also a tuner, it helps me to get out my Harley Freebucks a lot easier. And 3 Skull Crowbat, I think this is a no-brainer. You definitely need 3 here. And then the Destiny Hero package, that Celestial and Dasher is a must, since I'm playing a DPE version. Harmonizing should be always at 2, Double Iris at 1. And Black Fang, I drop it by 1 because I tried to balance out the high skill and low skill, and apparently I have a bit more low skill here, so I need to drop off some of the high skill. I was thinking either to drop off a Celestial Magician or either Black Fang, but Celestial Magician provides me with an additional surge when I use Pendulum Sorcery effect, because it adds Performer Power cards to your hand, and then it helps me to add Celestial. Yeah, and Celestial has a very strong effect. If you control a synchro monster, your monster cannot activate monster effect. This effect actually saves me quite a lot, especially when fighting Tri-Brigade, because when Tri-Brigade activates Revoke, it actually triggers like around 3 to 4 monster effect at once. So this effect actually stops the Revoke from stop those monsters from activating its effect to recycle more cards. I'm pretty sure I will have a replay for this sometime later, I think in the June period, so do catch that. And Stargazer and Time Gazer, I will still say I want to keep it at 1, because the additional summon is quite useful, especially now when you can get to use Anaconda to get out your Fusion Destiny. So it's easy access to your Fusion Destiny if needed. And artifact side, of course, since we are playing the artifact side combo, And Oath Dragon I dropped from 3 to 2. I think mainly it's because it's a level 6, I can't normal summon it out. And I would say 2 is a good number because firstly, when playing the game now, the main priority is actually get out your Harmonizing and then summon out your Oath Dragon to go into Baron the Fluer, so that it at least has one negate, so maybe you can negate away the Nibiru or negate something that stops your Electromite. Yeah, so I think this is a really great addition to the deck. And I also drop off the Odd Eyes Vortex and Absolute package because we will need a bit more space for this. And if Harmonizing isn't used to summon out your Dragon Pit anymore, you don't really need your Odd Eyes package here. So that is why I took out both the Vortex and the Absolute from this to give it a bit more space in the extra deck. And Chronograph, Astrograph, I think it's a no-brainer. It's definitely at 1 each. And then Pendulum Core, I still love to keep it as 1 because if you draw it and you have one more card in your hand, it actually helps you turn the game. And it helps you to unbreak your card for those cards that you draw to. So maybe if you draw 2 Alliance or maybe 2 Ash, you can actually discard 1 to get more resources to your hand. Duelist Alliance, I decided to keep it to drop it by 1 again because I do not really want to draw 2 of them, and to me it's really an optional thing to have more of this, and I definitely don't want to draw 3 of them, and that is why I just keep 1. I keep 2 of them here. And Fusion Destiny, instead of the usual 2 that a lot of people play, I play as 1 because to me, I already run so many non-pendulum cards. I really don't want any cards in my hand to break. So if I accidentally draw 2 of them, it's actually quite bad, and that's why I only play 1. And even if I draw this one card, I can actually bring out 1 interruption, so it's not so bad. And yeah, so mainly and then lastly, of course, the Star Pendulum and Trap Pendulum Graph, and this is no-brainer at 1 each. So if you realize my this deck list is trying to focus on if you accidentally draw like multiple copies of a certain card, it will break. So it's to minimize the fact that you draw multiple cards that cannot be activated. So if let's say I draw 2 Ash Blossom, I cannot activate one of them, which is quite useless. And same goes for Maxi. So everything is at 2 copies so that I don't accidentally draw a lot more stuff that than I need them. Yeah. So as compared, if you compare this deck list, there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 non-pendulum, and 10 including this, which is 10 non-pendulum cards, which is like 3/4 of the deck. This can be very dangerous, especially when you play with Pendulum Magician. You will want as many pendulum cards in your hand as possible to actually run your combo. But the good thing is, in this deck, to get out your artifact side lock combo, you just need any 4 monsters on the field. 2 of them will go into Darkgar, and the other 2 will go into Anaconda to get out your Fusion Destiny. Fusion Destiny, yeah. So overall, this is my deck list. Oh, sorry, and also the extra deck, I would say it's pretty standard. The things that people don't usually run is actually the Ignister Prominence, which I actually love it. And I would say Wonder Magician is optional right now since I don't need to use Harley Freebucks to summon it out. But there are cases where I think there's one case where I actually use Wonder Magician instead of the usual DPE. I forget why, but this is something that you can consider. I would say if you really want more slot in your extra deck, I would say you can take out these 2 to fit what you need. This extra deck is actually a little bit more flexible than I think, and I'm actually considering adding back my Star Time Magician back into the extra deck. And yeah, the rest is pretty straightforward. It's cards that you need. Yeah. So overall, this is my deck list, and I want to just show you one example of the gameplay that I play. I think it's this. Yep. DPE actually really does help make our deck a bit more competitive, especially in the Diamond tier. Diamond tier is actually really no joke. I'm not really enjoying the Diamond tier because I can't really play other non-meta decks. Everyone here is so competitive. Like, it's either Sword Soul or stuff that is very, very meta. Yeah, so you don't really get to see any other deck list here. It's pretty boring. Yeah. So I think one good thing about this deck is also even though there's Maxi, you will let your opponent draw me at most 3 cards, I think 3 or 4, and then your artifact side lock combo will be out. So let's take a look here. Okay, so that's one summon. I destroy both of them to get my Trump Joker and maybe Celestial. So you can, I will normal the the Skull Crow bat and then get 1 card. And now I have 4 cards on the field. So as long as you have 4 cards on the field, you can actually do out your artifacts side lock combo already. So first 2 you want to go into is of course your Dark Guard first. Why Dark Guard? Actually the sequence doesn't really matter. It's just you need both of them on the field first. So once Dark Guard is out, okay, that's second special summon, and then this is the third one. Okay, and later you need to summon out your DPE, which is the 4th one. Which is still pretty, it's still pretty sad that you need to that they do this, because I mean they maxi and you still have to do something, because I'm pretty sure I can't just end the turn like that. So I have to decide to just let them draw. Okay, and then you summon out DPE. The only difference with using DPE to activate your side combo is you can do it during the standby phase instead of the main phase. Because if you do it during the main phase, your opponent needs to do something about it. So now it's still the draw phase and I can activate everything. Your opponent can't normal summon or anything. Yeah, so it's actually I would say pretty good. And you get to chain block using your DPE as well. So as you can see, although Ghost Bell is activated, Ghost Bell actually just negates the DPE. But actually my main thing is still the side. I'd rather get out the side first. Of course, it will be better if you can get out the DPE as well, but to me, side is more important now. So actually, I'm fighting with Invoke deck. I forget what was the other variant, but there's nothing he can do because side is already activated. And with that, he ends his turn, and you realize that there's actually a lot of cards on my field, and then I can go into Apollosa first. So I would say this build Apollosa is a bit more useful because once you lock it in, the next turn you have actually a lot of material to summon out Apollosa. And Apollosa is good because there's 3 pointer. You can bring out 3 Pendulum monsters from your extra deck. Yeah. And the rest are pretty straightforward. You should already realize that this game is already won. Yeah. So yeah, overall I would say this deck going second is still not so bad because there's a few more hand traps, and even if there's no hand traps, you get to bring out some of your like your DPE if needed. Yeah. So let's take a look at the deck list again. Yeah, so do feel free to comment down below what you think of the deck list. I think it's a bit unusual, and I think that a lot of people debate that you should just run 2 Fusion Destiny pickup, but for me, I really want to reduce the chance of drawing useless cards because we already have too many non-pendulum cards here. And yeah, overall, this is how what I think. And to be honest, I reached this season with my Pendulum deck from Diamond 3 to Diamond 2. I actually use mainly my Pendulum Magician deck with DPE, and I'm surprised I even reached Diamond 2. I wasn't trying to up my Diamond tier actually, but it slowly brings me up to Diamond tier 1, which is pretty interesting. So if you can see my match history, okay, I recently lost one with Otter Guys because I was trying to play, but other than that, I would say these few games are all Pendulum Magician if I remember correctly. Yeah, so okay, so overall this is my deck list. Do feel free to let me know in the comments what you think about this, and if you have a better deck list, do feel free to share in our Discord channel as well. I will pin it up for everyone to take a look. Yeah, so that's all, and if you are enjoying the content so far, do remember to like, subscribe, comment down below, join our Discord channel, and also hit the notification bell. And if you have some interesting replay, be it Pendulum Magician or non-Magician deck, just submit it if you think it's something the viewer would love to see it. Yep. And so I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.